Hey there! Don't scroll past this if you want to learn how to do a natural looking contour. It's not a ton of products and it's super easy. Let's jump in. My name is Melinda, a Sephora Beauty Director, and if you know me, you know I really like makeup that is quick and efficient and it doesn't take too long, which is all 4 products that I used today. I got to hit my snooze button, maybe even hit it twice, and I still got ready and have this really pretty, impactful makeup. So let me show you how I did it. Let's get started. Okay, so my brows are already done and I have some eyelash extensions on, so we're not even gonna fuss with the eyes. We're just gonna focus on complexion. And to start, I'm going to begin with Ilia's Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40 Foundation. I'm using the shade Aura, O-R-A. I really, really like this stuff. I've talked about it a few times on this channel because of how much I like it. I have really dry skin, so it's super moisturizing. It's truly a serum for your face with foundation in it. So you get 2-in-1. Has this really cool dropper, and I'm just going to usually take like 4 to 5 drops to begin. And you're gonna apply this just like you would a serum. So split it between the hands, and then you're gonna press it into the skin. The same way you would apply your skincare. And this foundation is really natural, but you can build it up. So I'm gonna do 1 layer so you can see what it looks like a little bit more natural, and then we'll add a little bit more pigment just to show you how much coverage you can really get with a serum like foundation, because a lot of people think you can't get any coverage with this, and you can. Okay, so I'm just finishing pressing this into my skin, and so you can see the first layer gave me a really pretty dewy finish. I'm gonna add a second layer, so maybe a few more drops. Do the same exact thing, and this is just gonna add some additional coverage for you. You can see with that second layer, at least I can see, I hope you can see, but all my little red scarring disappeared. All right, I'm just finishing pressing the second layer into my skin. You can see it gave me just a little bit more coverage, and I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna let this settle for a second because it has so much moisture. You wanna give it a second to set before moving on. So concealer's next, just give it like 30 seconds and then move on. So now I've given the foundation just a second to set. I have pretty dry skin, so it absorbs all that moisture really quickly. If you have a little bit more oily skin, maybe give it a little bit longer, you know, a minute to set before you move on to your next step. If you have to, you can always use just a brush of translucent setting powder to help set as well. But I don't feel like I need that. So I'm gonna jump into my concealer. I'm gonna be using this from Kosas, and it is the Revealer Concealer Super Creamy and Brightening Concealer. It's a really, really good formula to go along with that Ilia Super Skin Tint Foundation, because they're both very moisturizing and creamy, so they won't like contradict each other or get in the way of each other. I'm using the shade 3. So I'm just gonna take the doe foot and pop few dots under my eye. I'm gonna put a little bit more actually, because I really want to show you all how impactful this concealer can be and how much coverage you can get in brightening. So I'm gonna build it up a little bit just the same way I did with the Ilia foundation, so you can kind of see just how much it can do. All right, so to blend, I'm gonna use my handy beauty blender, a classic. And I already wet the sponge a little bit, which is what you always want to do with your beauty blender. And I'm just going to use light tapping motion to kind of blend that in. And I like to pull it out a bit from this area here to the high of my cheekbone, because that brightening will kind of act as a highlight. And it'll bring your cheekbone a little bit higher, and it'll really pop once we do our quick contour. So onto the other eye. And just gonna work that in. I love using these really moisturizing, creamy complexion products because you get a natural glow with them. You can see like my forehead and the high of my cheekbones. You can really get that highlight and that glow without having to like pack on a ton of makeup or pack on a ton of like powder highlighter. And I feel like it's just even more youthful and natural looking. Taking what's left on the sponge, and I'm just getting the top of my nose for a little highlight, around the bottom of my nose, which usually is a little red. All right, just for a little extra brightening, I'm gonna add 1 more dot of this in the inner corner. I'd always do that with concealer. I always go in with the 1 last dot, just for good measure. I feel like that's where I tend to get the darkest too. So we'll just brighten that up a bit more. You can really see what good work this concealer does. Which is clean, by the way. It's CleanAtSephora, and you can see the impact that it has. So you're really getting like so many benefits. Okay, so now is the star of the show. I'm gonna be using the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked to do a little bit of lazy contour, if you will. Just not like a full contour, you know? We're not going super harsh. We're gonna make this look natural. We're going with a glowy, youthful look. So I'm gonna take straight from the component. I'm just going to add little dots of this on my forehead. The reason I like to target the top of my forehead for a contour is by deepening the shade of the outer perimeter of your forehead, it recesses that part of your forehead and makes the lower portion look even smaller. So ultimately, by playing with shadow and light, you're creating a smaller effect to your forehead. I don't feel like I have a huge forehead, but I like to add a little bit up there. I'm good with it. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of this into the hollows of my cheekbones. Everyone wants that, you know? All right, so now that we've mapped out our quick contour on our forehead and our cheekbones, I'm gonna take the same beauty blender. It doesn't matter if it has product on it, that actually helps you out because it kind of blends everything you put on your face together. And I'm gonna start on my cheeks here. And you're gonna want to blend upward towards your hairline. Look at how quickly that blended. This is like so easy. Okay, next side. And then finally, we're just gonna do the forehead. All of these formulas work really well together. You're not layering like a powder with a cream that might interrupt each other's performance or get cakey or something like that. These all blend seamlessly and really easily. So if you're a beginner, I feel like this is a really good place to start too. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and we can move on to our blush. Okay, so last up, we're gonna add just a little bit of color back to the face with some blush. I'm gonna be using from Tower 28. This is the BeachPlease Tinted Lip and Cheek Balm. I love this product for a plethora of reasons. It's also clean, by the way, but I love how you can build the pigment. You can go from a really natural flush of color to like high impact, bright pink lips or whatever color you're using. So I'm gonna show you how I use it on my cheeks for a little flush of color and then on my lips for a real impact. So I'm gonna be using the shade Happy Hour and I'm going to dip into it with my beauty blender again. Just directly in there and just get a little bit on the top. And then I like to do that sometimes to find the apple of my cheeks. And then once you put a little bit in the apple, I'm gonna switch sides and just blend out the pigment without adding too much more. Now, once you get one sheer layer down, if you find you want a little bit more pigment, that's fine, but I definitely recommend sheer layers because you can always add more. It's very difficult to go backwards and remove blush. So you can kind of just switch between each side of your beauty blender. And I'll dip in for a little bit more for the other cheek, and I'll target the apple for the beginning and then flip to the other side and just blend that out. Ooh, that was a lot more, but that's okay because we can use the other side and blend it out. All right, so using the same exact product because we like, you know, the 2-in-1, make it nice and easy. I'm going to use the Sephora Collection number 85 lip brush, and you can really see in just a couple swipes of that how much color you can get. A lot of people look at these and they you know, they apply it with their finger and they're like, oh, it's not that much color or it's just a flush of color, but it's just application technique. And that's what's so cool about this product is you can use it in so many ways. I think a lot of people look at clean makeup and they think that it's just not gonna perform the same way other makeup does. And that's such a myth, and we're here to bust it because look at the impact of this color on my lips. It's incredible. I love how moisturizing this is too. I feel like with a lot of clean makeup, you get skincare benefits. So you can get skincare benefits and the performance of like high impact payoff, which is my dream, probably yours too. So try it out. I promise you're gonna be into this one. That's it. Literally anything that makes it easier, count me in. Let me know if you have any quick contour tips or maybe even any clean makeup products that are really impactful that you think I should try out. I'll be checking in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.